apocryphally, it is said that Joe Stalin said, it doesn't matter who votes, it matters who counts the votes. I haven't been able to find an actual reference to Stalin saying that. I can just find thousands of references to people saying that Stalin said that. But here is what Republican U.S. member of the House of Representatives, Republican Congressman Peter King, said just before the 2004 election when asked by Nancy Pelosi's daughter and documentarian filmmaker, and I think that's Alexandra Pelosi, I believe is her daughter, who's the filmmaker, on camera. He was drunk. He was at the White House. He was at a party, and he was plastered. But here's what he had to say. Congressman Peter King.
It's already over. The election's over. We won.
How do you know that?
It's all over but the counting, and we'll take care of the counting.
It's all over but the counting, and we'll take care of the counting. Now, just, think about this. For the Republicans, it's like the means doesn't matter as long as the end is accomplished and the end is winning. In 1968, Lyndon Johnson was president of the United States, and he was stuck in this war in Vietnam, and it was just tearing him apart. He hated it. He wanted that war to end so badly, not just because it would guarantee that Hubert Humphrey, as vice presidential candidate, would win in the election of 68, not just because his own party had told him he couldn't run for re-election because the war was such a bad mistake, not just because millions of young people, I was 17 that year. I remember it well. Not just because millions of young people were out in the streets getting tear gas grenades thrown at them, which happened to me. Not just because of that, but because it was the right thing to do to end the war. And Lyndon Johnson had organized, throughout the summer of 68, had organized a series of peace talks between the South and the North in Paris. And he had gotten an agreement for peace. And then Richard Nixon's campaign. And I wonder who was that John Mitchell who became his attorney general, or was it Caspar Weinberger? It'd be interesting to go back and find out who was in charge of his campaign in 68, who ran the Nixon campaign. But in any case, Richard Nixon's campaign one of the campaign officials out of New Mexico contacts Madame Tu, contacts the leader of the South Vietnamese and says, don't go to Paris. Don't engage in any more negotiations. Hang on, keep the war going for another few months. This is just October. Let the war go for another month or so. And, if Nixon is elected, he'll make you rich. He'll give you a better deal. And so she did. And the CIA intercepted the conversation. And Lyndon Johnson, and this is the reason Lyndon Johnson knew about this, and this is the reason I think why the Democrats today are refusing to talk about the possibility that Anonymous stopped Karl Rove from hacking the vote. Lyndon Johnson knew about this. He knew that the Republican candidate for president had committed treason. He knew it. He had listened to the CIA wiretaps of the South Vietnamese, the incoming phone calls from the Nixon campaign. And he called up Everett Dirksen, one of the most high integrity people in this city, and the Republican leader of the United States Senate, or the leader of the Republicans in the United States Senate. He called up Everett Dirksen, who was a good man, and he said, Everett, I am reading their hand. I know what they're trying to do. We can't let the American people know about this. But it's treason. And Everett Dirksen said, promised L.B.J. he would talk to Nixon. He did. There were subsequent phone calls. You can listen to all of them over at the Nixon or over at the L.B.J. library. They just released them 2 years ago. And why this didn't make the front page of the New York Times, I don't know. Except for the same reason. I think L.B.J. went to his grave never speaking the truth that he knew, that Richard Nixon was a traitor. And I believe that that's why the Democratic leadership, Harry Reid, the President of the United States, will go to their graves never speaking that they know. For that matter, John Kerry will probably go to his grave never saying out loud that he knows that Karl Rove stole that election in 2004. You don't think that a president of the United States, knowing that the other guy was committing treason, would out it to the American people because he thought that outing it would cause the American people to lose faith and confidence in their government and their electoral system? You think I'm just, this is a wild exaggeration, a bizarre conspiracy theory? Then listen to Lyndon Johnson, President of the United States, speaking to Everett Dirksen, leader of the Senate Republicans.
Here's the latest information we got. The agent says that they just talked to the boss in New Mexico. And that he says that you must hold out. Just hold on until after the election. We know what Q is saying to them out there. Yeah. We're pretty well informed on both ends. Now, I'm reading their hand, Everett. I don't want to get this in the campaign. That's right. And they oughtn't to be doing this. This is treason. I know.
This is treason. I know. And Lyndon Johnson knew it. Hubert Humphrey knew it. Probably the entire national security apparatus of the United States knew that Richard Nixon was a traitor, that he committed treason to win the election in 1968, and that another 20,000 American soldiers and another million Vietnamese died as a result of it. And they all went to their graves keeping that secret because they did not want you and me to think, they did not want the American people to think that the American electoral system was that badly corruptible or that badly corrupted. They didn't want us to lose faith. Well, frankly, I think we're old enough to take the truth. I really do. And I think if there's anything to this theft of an election in 2000 by Jeb Bush ordering Katherine Harris to knock voters off the rolls, it should be outed. And if there's anything to this theft of the election in 2004 by Ken Blackwell setting up a secondary computer system in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Smart Tech, owned by the former Republican finance chairman of the RNC, it should come out.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Visit ThomHartmann.com for audio and video archives.
And most importantly, if there's any truth to the possibility that Karl Rove tried to hack the 2012 election and failed, that needs to come out.